Alright guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be part 2 of Mid-Month Chakra Love Messages. I didn't finish yesterday. I believe that I completed April. No, I'm sorry. Yes, Aries to Scorpio is part 1 of mid-month for June of 2026. Tonight I'm doing Sagittarius to Pisces. Yeah. So I'm just going to clear out the air. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Hi, Chill. Welcome. I talk about healing trauma and balancing the chakras. And I also write about it on my Substack. So if you're interested in any kind of materials to read, and I do intuitive chakra messages here. If you're looking for a chakra consultation, I do chakra readings. You can reach out to me. My information is in the description box. When I'm on live, I can do a quick chakra reading for you. So just let me know. And that information is in the description box as well. So it's $17 for a quick chakra reading when I'm live. But if you want a private chakra reading, then just reach out to me. Or you can go to my website, ReikiLoveHealing.com, and you'll get all the information there. Okay, just want to clear this air out. It's Tuesday, and we just want to make sure we don't have no negative energy here. We just want nothing but positive energy, right? Just positive energy. Let me know what zodiac you are in the comments. Now, some of these messages, they might resonate, they might not. Maybe there's a message here for you. Maybe you'll have to wait till next month. Sometimes there is a message. If you stop by, there could be a message here for you. So maybe you want to stick around. Now, when I do zodiacs, it could be if that zodiac is your sun's, moon, or rising sign. If you have heavy, Gemini in your chart or Leo, it could be for you. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's like another zodiac, like whatever's in our chart, could be coming through really strong. So it could be that. All right, we are clearing out the energy here. Also, if you're new to my channel and you're interested in these topics, don't forget to follow. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and share my video. Maybe somebody you know is looking for that information and could help them on their healing journey. So you never know. Okay. All right. Energy is clear, smells good. I am doing laundry, so if you hear the machine's running, sometimes it makes a lot of noise. And I have a noisy neighbor too who constantly drags furniture on the floor and it drives me nuts. So, and these are my favorite. They're my favorite. Mike Dennis is not going to be happy with me. I know. Once in a while, though, I just need to snack on them. Just once in a while. Like I said, some of these messages might resonate with you. If you're looking for love, if you're in a relationship, we're going to look at which chakra is coming out that you need to focus on right now for the rest of June. And then how does that relate to your love life? What blockages do you need to remove? What lessons do you need to learn? All right. So we are starting with Sagittarius. And with Sagittarius, the first thing I get is emotional sensitivity. And so it could be that you're either too emotional or you're not emotional enough. And that can go either way with a fire sign. Fire signs can be really fiery, right? Super emotional, or they shut down and they cut you off. So I am getting that you do need to, Sagittarius, you do need to release some toxic energies around you. The energies that you need to release, they're from your past, okay? So it could be that maybe there's a past relationship that is affecting you, and that could be something that interferes in your current situation, or it's just, there's a past relationship that is very significant in your energy. Not the healthiest is what I'm getting, not the healthiest. So you need to clear yourself of that energy because it could be blocking you from being able to move forward with someone new. So, yeah, releasing what no longer serves you. The minute that you have to question a relationship, that is a big red flag that you don't need to engage anymore. That it's time for you to pull back. Yep. And Archangel Michael is coming through and he's saying that he is here to help you to disconnect from that relationship, because even if it's like from a long time ago and you don't talk to that person anymore, maybe you didn't do the healing work. Maybe you didn't finish healing from that relationship and it's still affecting you today. So you need to cut the cords. And that can happen. You can go years. Maybe you think that you don't need that, but you can go years staying attached to a relationship, and it affects you in the next relationship, or it keeps you from finding love. So it's important that you revisit that, not every single detail, but just revisit it and try to do the work. I'm still trying to see which chakra you need to focus on here. Third eye. Okay. So you need to focus on the third eye chakra. And it could be that, with the third eye chakra wants you to seek the truth in the situation. Look at the truth. You don't need to have the proof, okay? What is your intuition telling you? What is your intuition telling you? Your intuition is giving you signs. It's telling you maybe this situation isn't good, or maybe it's time to release it, and you're still holding on to it. So, um, it's important that you kind of detach from the situation so that you can understand the lesson here. Like, whatever happened in this situation wasn't personal, it's just a learning lesson, and it needed to happen. And um, you got to pull back and detach from it and just look at it from a different perspective to understand the lesson that you needed to learn. I feel like you knew. I feel like there were signs and you knew, but you kind of disregarded them in hopes that things would work out. I see an engagement here. Were you engaged to someone and something happened and it didn't work out? It could be that. Um, it could be either engagement or trying to take the relationship to the next level of commitment, is what I'm seeing. Um, I feel like you had strong feelings for this person, very strong feelings. And you probably still have feelings for this person. You can't stop thinking about them. You're hoping that one day they come back. Because I feel like I see someone looking in the past and thinking about that person. I get wedding. I get this situation involves marriage. That's what I'm getting. So it could have been that maybe you were looking for commitment, maybe you wanted to get married with this person. There Somebody here had control issues, and that can definitely interfere in a relationship when someone has trust issues, or they're trying to control the direction the relationship is going. And I do feel like this person could have been married. You were either dealing with someone who was married and was trying to control the situation, or maybe you were looking to get married, or maybe you were married to someone who was controlling. But I get marriage, I get a controlling partner. Yeah. And this definitely was this is someone from the past. So they just confirmed it is someone from the past, and you had a very strong connection with this person. And in this situation, you had a very strong connection with this person, and you could have known this person in a different life, in a past life. You could have known them, because that's how strong it feels. Change. Change is really important right now. Um, right now, there's a call for change, and it's important that you um, do the work that you need to do to heal from this situation. I feel like to the situation, maybe because of this situation, anytime you come in contact with someone, maybe you think that that person might have negative intentions towards you. Um, and sometimes that can happen when we don't heal from the past or like a past relationship, especially if you did so much for that person and they took advantage and then they end up leaving, and you're like, wait, I did all this stuff for you and you ended up leaving me. So it can make you feel like you don't trust anyone. And you meet someone new and you're thinking, what intentions do you have towards me? And then they could be a totally nice person, but because you haven't healed from the past relationship, that energy interferes, and it's difficult for you to move forward and move on. So focus on the third eye, which means that um, develop a connection with your intuition, because your intuition will never steer you wrong. When you listen to your intuition, it will never steer you wrong. I've never listened to my intuition and it took me to a wrong direction. Like, that's usually the ego that does that. But your intuition, that gut feeling that you get, always listen to it and take action, or don't take action. Just let things unfold however they're going to unfold. If it crumbles, let it crumble. There's a lesson here for you to learn. Just let it crumble, pull back, and you know let it unfold and watch what happens, and you will probably end up in a better place. Okay, who is after Sagittarius? Moving on to Capricorn. We're moving on to Capricorn, I believe. Hmm. Capricorn, I have sacral chakra. It's coming up for you. There are also some behavior patterns here with the sacral chakra that you need to let go of. These behavior patterns are not healthy, and they could be interfering with your ability to move forward or manifest your heart's desire. The sacral chakra, it's also connected to creativity. So sometimes, depending on who you're involved with, it can block your creativity. And that's how you know you should pull away from that relationship. And there's usually signs. When your creativity is blocked, you're not able to give birth to ideas. I don't want to get into like medical advice or anything like that, but in not so many words, that is, when you have a blocked sacral chakra, that's what happens. You can have a blocked creativity depending on the partner that you have, and it would be difficult for you to create things. So I see a situation here, a relationship, a connection that is very, very passionate. Both parties are very passionate towards one another. Um, I see a new love coming in, or this could be new love that they're showing me, new love. And maybe you met this person through friends, your friends, their friends, somebody else's friends. But they're saying to pay attention to the red flags here. Someone will move forward and make an effort, but they're saying to pay attention to their red flags. Maybe this relationship is moving too fast, right? Before you really get to know the person. And that could be the behavior pattern that they're warning you about. Because they're saying, you know, there's like healing away addiction. So it could be a literal addiction, or it can be just behavior patterns that you always display every time you get involved with someone that are not healthy. You know, uh, it could be maybe you offer too much before that person proves, you know, that they're worthy of being with you. Maybe it could be literal addiction too. So just be aware of that. I do see someone here who's controlling. So be aware of that as well. And that person, that the controlling behavior could be the behavior that needs to be worked on. Yeah. I guess deception. So it could be that people aren't really showing their true selves and they're hiding who they are. But also, if someone does have an addiction, they could be hiding that. So that's why you need to pay attention to the red flags. Don't move so quickly in the situation, because it can, you know, affect you in a negative way if you move too fast with someone, and they have these behavior patterns or addictions that could hurt you in some way. I mean, it can affect you. It can affect your health. It could affect your money. So these are things to, you know, pay attention to. Yeah. Working on yourself, reminding yourself what you deserve to have, not settling for things that are beneath you, or things that are not going to really fulfill you. I get like reminding yourself of who you are, that you are extraordinary, you are special, and you have a lot to offer. So, because sometimes we can get caught up in a relationship with someone that, you know, we're just having fun with, and before we know it, we're caught up in this relationship. And maybe you decide to move in with this person, and once you move in with them is when you really see their true colors. And maybe that's when you notice that this person has these, you know, behavior patterns or addictive behavior patterns, or they're really controlling. And now you feel like, oh my God, I'm trapped. I just moved in with this person and now they're acting like this. And, you know, you didn't notice it before, but you notice it now that you moved in with them. And then when you're dealing with someone like that, they're always going to try to pick at you and make you feel insecure in some way. And this is why you have to remember who you are, um, and not weigh your value on how that person feels about you. If you're in a situation like that, get out as soon as you can. That was for Capricorn. And now we're moving on to Aquarius. All right. Okay, this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This person is making so much noise. Okay, this is going to be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's see what comes out. Aquarius, you got heart chakra. Your heart chakra. Now, the heart chakra is like the center of your chakra universe. It is the powerhouse of your energy system, right? It's connected to all the chakras. And this one can affect you in so many ways because every situation that we face always deals with emotion. So the heart chakra is connected to emotional power. And how we deal with something emotionally, it's gonna affect us in a very strong way. So heartbreak, for example. Heartbreak is never fun to experience and it could be really harsh on us. And if you continue to have heartbreak over and over again and you don't heal from it, sometimes it can manifest as heart issues. It can manifest as bronchial issues. You could get lung cancer. And that's because of the grief that you experience from heartbreak that you didn't heal. If you have layers and layers and layers of grief, and then on top of the grief, you are resenting that person for not staying with you. So you have grief coupled with anger. It will manifest in your heart area. It can affect the heart and it can affect the lungs and also the breast. So it depends what emotion you're dealing with. But grief usually affects your lungs, where heartbreak from a relationship, like heartbreak, I mean, either or, it could be grief from a relationship, or it could be, just having your heart broken. That affects the heart. But when you struggle with grief and resentment, it can affect the lungs. You could have asthma, you could have bronchial issues, you could have lung cancer. It affects you in those ways. And that's just from interviewing people and dealing with clients who suffered those things. It's like this common thing that happens. Whenever, if I deal with someone who doesn't process their emotions, they always have like some kind of blood pressure, heart issues, stroke, something like that. So it's important to learn how to process your emotions. You should never hold your emotions in. That's never good. It's always good to process them. Get a good cry, maybe journal your emotions, maybe, scream. I think I saw one time this like screaming therapy, like go in the forest and scream and just let it out, whatever you need to get let out. But yeah, processing your emotions, healing that, heartbreak or whatever grief you experience. It could be that you lost a loved one and you're struggling with that grief. It's important to heal from that too. So for Aquarius, heart chakra is coming through, and Let's see what specifically it's referring to. Yeah, this is like a relationship that ended. It's like a relationship that ended, and you could be trying to understand what happened in that relationship and forgive that person. Because if you struggle with forgiveness, number one, if you're dealing with illness, it's going to be hard for you to heal. You have to practice the act of forgiving. Not in a way where you're accepting what that person did. It's not like that. But forgiveness is more like, I don't want to carry the weight of this. I don't want to hold it anymore. I want to like let it go. So, just it's more like releasing um, the hold that that situation has on you. And it's like detaching from the situation and looking at it from a third party perspective, um, not really seeing yourself in the picture, but if you could step back and look at it, and maybe that'll help you to understand why things happen, why that person came into your life. Sometimes is to, help you to evolve. Maybe it's to help you to have more confidence in yourself, practice self love, self care, learn to set boundaries with people. There's always a lesson. Anytime you cross paths with someone, there's always a lesson for you to learn. This one is about forgiving and learning. So it could be about forgiving a past relationship that hurt you so that it's not affecting your current relationship. Yeah. Um, you could be trying to keep an open mind with someone that you're involved with, trying to get to know that person. So you're not allowing that past relationship to come in and plant seeds in your head, and then you're thinking that this person is going to hurt you like the last person did. um that's what I'm getting, like that you are trying to focus on learning and forgiving and healing from the past, having an open mind with the current situation. And then I feel like this, like I get true love in this connection. Like this is the romance of a lifetime. Maybe this is the relationship that you've been waiting for, that you've wanted to have. Yeah. Yep. They're confirming, yes, this person is your soulmate. But whenever I see soulmate, that tells me that um, there's a lesson here for you to learn. There is a connection here, but there also is a lesson here for you to learn. Or maybe you're going to learn some lessons in this relationship. And it could also be that this relationship is going to help you to heal your heart chakra, because maybe you still had some, residual energy from the past relationship, right? And that could have made you a little fearful of moving forward in this situation. I mean, I feel like you do like this person, Aquarius, but they are also showing me that there's a little hesitation about commitment, like committing, like maybe you're okay living with this person, but maybe you don't want to commit and get married. Like you're still not 100% sure about that. But definitely a strong connection here with this person. Yeah, because I get like new love, and I feel like this person is really pulling at your heartstrings, and you want to see where it goes. Hmm. Freedom. Freedom comes out for you, Aquarius. So it's like, you know, you want to break free from that past relationship that maybe it was making you scared to really open up your heart to other people. And I feel like you kind of wanted to be free of that situation. It feels like that past relationship hurt you in some way, or it was kind of left undone, like you never got to complete it or finish it, or you didn't get to get closure, right? You didn't get closure. And that kind of lingered for a while, and it made you feel like a part of you felt a little angry about that, but then a part of you was like, could I have saved that relationship, right? And anyway, you love freedom. You like your freedom, right? You don't like to be tied down. You like your freedom, but you also like to feel stable. And you don't want anything kind of holding you back or holding you down. And so I feel like in this new situation, you're finding that freedom to be who you want to be, and that freedom to release yourself from the hold that that other situation had on you. All right, Aquarius, I hope that that made sense to you. Let me know if it did. Next is Pisces. This is going to be for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, Pisces, you have crown chakra. You have the crown chakra, Pisces. So, the crown chakra wants us to have a strong connection to spirituality. Without a strong connection to spirituality, it's hard for you to have faith in things, right? It's hard for you to um, believe and have faith. As to, especially if you're going through dark times, you need to believe in something. You need to have faith. So, and this is also part of the journey of like just, if you're on a spiritual journey, it's part of that journey of like evolving. Um, so going through that period, those dark periods are gonna help you to it's gonna push you in that direction of devotion and developing a strong connection with spirituality and having faith, right? Because that's hard to have faith, especially when you're in it, when you're in the storm, right? It's hard to have faith. But the crown chakra's lesson is to stay in the present moment. Forget about what happened in the past. Don't worry about what's happening in the future. Stay in the present moment and know that Source, God, whoever you believe in, the universe, is going to come through for you. It's going to support you, right? And when you have a strong connection with spirituality, you can no matter what crisis is happening in your life, you can let go and just focus on what's happening right now. And you know that God is going to work things out for you. Okay. I see, Pisces, that you're confused about a situation. You're not sure which direction to go. You want to stay positive about this, and I feel like this could be concerning something from the past. It's coming up like this focus on finance and career, right? And it could be that maybe you're working a lot as a way to distract you from something that happened in the past. You know, sometimes things don't work out for us and in a relationship, and then we just jump into our work as a way to take up space, to not have to think about this other situation. And that could be where you're at right now, Pisces. I'm getting engagement, so this could be a literal engagement. Maybe you were engaged, or it could be that maybe you weren't sure if you wanted to take this relationship to the next level of commitment, because I get uncertainty here. So it could be that, or maybe the other person didn't want to. And it could be the other person didn't want to because I see a third party. They were talking to other people, it could be. Yeah, this definitely was a soulmate, which tells me that there were some lessons here to learn. This situation was going to change you. I mean, like, I feel like this person liked you. I feel like this person tried to make an effort, but they also wanted to control the direction that this connection was going in. You know, like, a person can like you and then they're like, they don't want it to go any further. And that could be frustrating, especially when you're giving yourself, putting a lot of work into the connection, and then this person wants to like control the movement of it. So you could have broke up with this person and then got back with them, or maybe you broke up and this person is thinking of coming back, because I do get reconciliation, like giving this person another chance. Yeah, giving this person another chance is what they're saying. So be careful with that. um Spirit is saying that you need to heal your, if it's this relationship, or you need to heal your relationship with your family, maybe with your parents, healing family issues, because that too can also affect the direction your relationship goes in too. Everything in divine timing. I would say work on healing your family issues. It could be from childhood, or maybe you have a spouse and you have children with that person, and maybe that's what this relationship is about. Um, but definitely work on healing that relationship or that issue. And I'm getting guidance. So, um, so again, going back to the crown chakra, very important that you develop a strong connection with spirituality, because this is why guidance is coming out, because they're saying that you having a strong connection with spirituality, they're going to provide answers for you. Like, if you're seeking guidance, you're going to get the guidance that you need. But if you don't develop that connection, you're not going to hear the guidance. You're not going to understand it. You're going to disregard it when it comes in, and you'll miss that. So, work on developing a strong connection with spirituality. I mean, there's so many ways to do it. Um, I used to meditate. Um, meditate. I've done meditations, I've done chanting. I like to go to a body of water. I feel very strong connection when I do that. There's, a lot of different ways that you can pray, journal, whatever makes you feel comfortable, to build that connection, and then practice it. It's hard to have faith when you're in the middle of the storm, but I can tell you from my own personal experiences that I have been in situations where everything was taken away from me, and then within a week I was back on my feet and provided for, and literally within a week, all because I decided to surrender and have faith and let the universe do whatever it's going to do to save me. So that can happen for you too. All right, guys, that is all that I have for you. That is your mid-month chakra love reading. If any of this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the monthly chakra readings. And if you're interested in your own personal reading, just reach out to me, and schedule that. And I will see you guys at the next video. All right, enjoy.